I'm Matthew Galgani with a look at why you should take most profits at 20 to 25%. To make money in stocks, you don't always need to hit a home run with a big gain of 50%, 100%, or more. You can grow your portfolio substantially just by hitting a lot of singles and doubles. That's why IBD founder Bill O'Neill suggests doing what he does. Take most of your profits at 20 to 25%. We say most because there is an important exception, and we cover that exception in a separate video. Now, why do we say take your profits at 20 to 25%? Because history shows that after breaking out of a good base and going up 20 to 25%, most stocks tend to pull back and correct. Here's a good example. Lockheed Martin broke out here and moved up 20% over the next couple of months. Then, just like stocks often do, it pulled back. So when you're sitting on a nice profit of around 20%, like in Lockheed, you have to ask yourself, are you willing to give back some of those gains by holding the stock through a correction in hopes that it will launch another good run later, or do you want to sell now and lock in your profits? In most cases, you're better off taking those profits. You don't know if the stock will only drop a little bit and then resume its rise, or if it will enter a steep decline. By selling, you lock in a good gain and avoid the risk of seeing your profits disappear. Think of it as a profitable insurance policy. And instead of keeping your money tied up in a stock that's correcting, you can potentially put that money to better use in another stock that's on the rise. That's how you can start to compound those 20% gains and see big growth in your overall portfolio. Here's a very important point about this rule. The 20 to 25% gain is calculated from the ideal buy point, which may be different from your actual purchase price. Let's use the earlier Lockheed Martin breakout as an example. The buy point in this cup with handle is 64.38, 10 cents above the 64.28 peak in the handle. But let's say you bought at 65.67, 2% above the optimal buy point. You'd still calculate the 20 to 25% sell point from the ideal buy point of 64.38, giving you a range of 77.14 to 80.48. In this example, if you had used your own purchase price as the starting point, you would have still been holding as the stock began to drop, since it never went up 20% above your purchase price. But by using the ideal buy point, you got out at the right time with a bigger profit. Knowing when to sell is one of the trickier aspects of investing. But by following the simple sell rules we've outlined in this lesson and the prior lesson, Lesson 5, you can protect your money and capture solid profits. So here's your suggested profit to loss plan. Take most gains at 20 to 25%. These singles and doubles can add up to big profits over time. And as most of you now know, always sell if a stock drops 7 to 8% below what you paid for it. This is your most effective insurance policy to protect you from big losses and keep your portfolio intact, even in a bear market. Be sure to write down your target sell prices whenever you buy a stock. That way you'll be ready to act when the time comes to either cut your losses or lock in your gains. Also, note that when the overall market is weak, you may want to sell even sooner. For example, you could take your gains at 10 to 15% and cut any losses at 3 to 4%. The key is to have a clear written plan for when to sell so you don't let your emotions get in the way. This profit to loss plan provides that, giving you the guidelines you need to help safely and significantly increase the amount of money you make in the market.